You said you had an
So well, it's just like a thing that happened to me. I don't know.
Tell me about the things that happened to you. I'm always so interested in things that happen to you.
Thank you. That really means a lot to me, Kat. I was like in my room. I was getting ready to go, or I was on the phone with my mom, and I was gonna go to her house for something. I don't know. She needs me for things, and I was like getting ready. I went to go get a fresh mask because mine was getting kind of weird and gross, and I kicked something. On the ground, and I heard this like hiss, like this, and I was like, "Fucking Voldemort in my house," or like, "What's going on?" And then I was like, "Whatever," and like it kept going, and I was like, "What is that?" And then I like finally like moved my foot, and it stopped, and then I like looked down, and I saw a can of compressed air that had been pointed up at me. Without the straw, so like a wide nozzle, right? And it had just been like the thing had been just going off, and it was just coming up at me, and then all of a sudden I started to smell like a real funky smell. Like it was bad. It smelled like copper and like bitter in the back of my throat. I started coughing.
Did someone try to poison you?
No, Juniper poisoned themselves.
I poisoned myself because I kicked a can of compressed air and then it went off in my face and I didn't realize it.
Okay, but the way you described it, you were like, it had been placed to point up at me. So I just assumed
that's just how it happened to be because it fell off my desk and I like didn't like.
Are you sure you weren't doing like a Home Alone style home invasion
of myself? Like, yeah, I did it on myself.
Maybe a child had set up like an elaborate death trap for you.
No, it was me because the can had like just fallen off earlier, and I just like didn't want to pick it up because I was on the phone with my mom. I was gonna get it later, and then I like kicked it, and then it like went off. And anyways, so I literally poisoned myself, and then I got high because
Juniper.
Yeah, you were like.
Juniper.
I feel like you didn't get high.
I don't think you got high.
Now that I've stepped, what happened was Juniper stepped on the compressed air and they were like, I can't deal with this. And then they just lit up a blunt.
Yeah, that's what, exactly, yeah. I had some gummies that Errol gave me and I was like, fuck this, if I'm gonna die.
Those are for sleepy time.
Well, I didn't go to sleep. Anyways, I did call poison control and he did say that I would get high. So I was high.
Okay, wait.
So fuck all of you.
I'm worried about you
so
now.
So this thing sprayed from the ground.
Yeah.
No, okay, so like
vaguely towards your face.
No, okay.
And you didn't feel any air, but you just heard a sound.
No, okay,
and then you got high.
I did feel air. I also had to bend down to pick it up and it was still spraying. So it was like right in my face.
What was in your air that it was?
Well, you can't, no, here's the thing. It's CO2 is also being sprayed out. And like, yes, that will get you high if you huff it. Here's what I think has happened. Juniper started telling us a story and about 3/4 of the way through realized it wasn't actually that interesting. And so that they have decided to add additional details to make it funnier.
Juniper would never do that.
Hey, first of all, also, I was planning to add those details anyways, but you guys jumped on my ass.
Listen, I thought that by making fun of you, that I would be adding like a fun, like dynamic to the like it would add an extra dimension to the story. But like, I would never doubt the veracity of any of your claims.
I doubt most of the veracity.
Your tone hurts
Juniper's
me.
claims.
Anyways, I did call because I felt like fucking weird. And
I believe that you believe it.
I'm worried about Juniper.
I called poison control and he literally was like, am I gonna die? Because it says on the can, like, you can die.
It says on the can, you're gonna die.
Yeah, it does.
Again, if
it just says you'll die.
It says you'll die.
You look at the instructions on the can.
And that's when I decided that I should stop swallowing meatballs whole.
All right.
But no,
that's a reference. Hey, Juniper?
Yeah.
Juniper? Mm-hmm. I think you need to remember that when you start telling a story and you realize that it wasn't that interesting, the proper way to end it is to say that then you found $5.
No.
Listen,
The way I did it was better.
I'm mad.
The way you did it is better, they say, while denying that they were making up additional details.
I wasn't.
I believe everything Juniper said. I believe everything Juniper said.
Thank you.
I've never believed a single thing.
I'm being honest, and you can ask Seth if you don't believe me because I told him the same thing.
I am sure that you workshopped. I'm sure you workshopped the story on Seth, and that's when you realized it wasn't that interesting.
It was traumatic for me.
I thought it was interesting. Juniper could have died, and you guys don't even care.
You know what? Of all of the reactions I could get to this, I think that Errol's is the one that makes me the angriest because at least I'm not being lied to by my other friends.
I'm being a dick about it, but I do believe you.
I'm being nice about it, but I don't.
Noelle's, what are you doing? What's your take on this?
I believe that Kat thinks she's being nice. I believe that Juniper thinks that they got high. And I believe that Errol is here.
I'm fucking sick and tired of your correct goddamn opinion.
I'm just saying, like, I do think I have a problem where it's hard for me to sound sincere.
No, you do. It's really funny.
It's really funny. It's very funny. I have the same problem, Errol.
Yeah, I do too.
Because that's like not the pause where we all think about how hard it is to be sincere.
I feel like Noelle literally looked over and saw the look in my eyes where I just like looked down and like was like deep in.
I was thinking.
Honestly, I was just thinking that I think I have the opposite problem.
You do.
Where, I'm too good at saying things straight.
Yeah.
When they're supposed to be a joke.
Yeah.
Especially with people who don't necessarily know me very well.
That's true.
I do that too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
depends.
Especially when I like say things that are perhaps a bit edgy.
Your twisted brand of humor.
My twisted brand of humor, which I know I am not saying in a serious way, but then my coworkers are like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, my silence was not a reflection at all, but actually a memory of that time that we played Among Us, and I constantly thought that Errol was...
literally, that's what I was also thinking about.
Yeah.
Every time I play a game where it involves lying, when I'm telling the truth, everyone thinks I'm lying.
Right, especially when you're trying to call me out on lying and then you get way too adamant that I was lying when I was.
Yes, right.
You're usually right about it.
But it turns around and backfires
But like, I feel like when I am lying, like when I play a game like that and I lie, I feel like I can pull it off pretty well. But when I try to tell the truth,
no, you can't.
Yeah, no one believes it.
What
I'm
you
just bad at games like that. I'm good at lying in real life.
Yeah, no, you are. What you need to do, Errol, is flip the script on it. And so, like, when you're not the one who needs to be lying, you need to lie and say that you are the...
I mean, no, I think in games that aren't Among Us, it usually works out well for me.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of times you want people to think you're lying when you're not, and you want them to think you're...
That's true, yeah.
Wait, I gave myself an aneurysm.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, one of us always tells the truth, and one of us always lies. There's two doors.
And the other two of us are just there heckling.
Yeah.
Yep. Muddying the waters.
Just here to be assholes.
That's fucking true, dude. That's fucking true.
All right. Well, speaking of lying, let's play D&D.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Kat, and I have never told a lie in my life.
Hello, I'm Noelle, and which door would the other guy say I should go through?
Mm.
Hi, I'm Juniper, and I'm lying right now.
Oh, fuck.
Hi, I'm Juniper, and I'm telling the truth. And no citation needed.
No notes. No notes.
No notes.
You made this?
I genuinely...
I made this.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, all right. So last time you guys were led into an ambush by Phelan, the dark Phelan, that bitch. And your boy showed up just in time.
You mean our boy Phelan?
Yes, your boy Phelan.
Actual Phelan.
Your actual boy. He showed up just in time to
Neither of them are actually Phelan, are they?
What?
Well,
Oh,
damn. You don't have to get...
Sorry.
yeah, I forgot.
Just thoughts for the recap.
Well, good Phelan tackled bad Phelan, and the two of them started doing their thing that they can both do, which is just flit around and teleport, and started trading blows. You guys lost track of them as you were ambushed by a horde of zombies and Titacairn soldiers who beat you up. They beat you up pretty bad. You were already not in like super great shape after fighting a dragon, and you had very few spell slots and no AoE spells available to you, but you survived for an admirably long time.
We sure did.
Yeah,
You sure did. You held out long enough for your reinforcements to arrive. The orcs, estrins, and dwarves broke in through the walls and ceiling and started fighting this horde that overtook you. Sam and Namavi are among them, and as they did that, the four of you fled toward a grate to get underground to find another route into the Titacairn and get to Torva. So that is where we are now. You guys were running for a grate just before the orcs arrived, trying to make a retreat. And now the way to the grate is clear. So you guys head towards it.
Yes, we do.
This has always worked out for us historically.
You guys, I don't know. I feel bad about this.
What are you...
Shut up! Just get in the grate!
I don't know that I think
Corbin, get in the grate!
I get in the grate.
We all get in the grate.
Y'all get in the grate.
Because I'm assuming the fighting is ongoing, right,
Yes.
Kat? Like, it's not like the orcs came in, killed everyone, and set up a camp.
No, you have just been granted a brief moment to safely make it to the grate as the orcs begin to engage with the zombie horde behind you.
All right. What's in the grate, Kat? What's in the grate? What's in the grate? I'm sorry for this 1997 joke.
I love it.
All right.
That was Brad Pitt of Illusory Snakes. He possessed my body.
Yeah, he did.
You sure did. Okay. The smell down here is gut-churningly awful. It is the sewer of a charnel house with waste and chemicals mixed in, flowing in a sludge down the center of this drainage tunnel. I'll give you a second here to catch your breath. Well, if you want to. It's pretty bad.
Fran makes her hair into like a bubble over her face.
Yeah, Slake pulls out the like mask they had for traversing the red caverns and gets that right on.
Yeah, Mary just like tries to pull her shirt up over her nose and mouth.
I give Corbin my bandana since I know that he doesn't have any clothes to cover himself.
Corbin says, "What's this for?"
You don't... The smell?
It smells a little weird. I don't know.
Okay.
I think you should tie it around your head like a babushka.
I do that. I do that.
Slake just like gives you a look and then it's like, okay.
Cute.
Thanks. Hey, thanks, Slake.
At any time, I guess.
Above you, there is a huge rumble as something big hits something else big, and then a single hand falls down through the grate. And it
Big?
Wait, I want to catch it.
How big?
I want to catch
a single hand that is moving of its own accord.
Like a
it's not
human hand.
Is it disembodied?
A disembodied dwarf hand, yes.
Can I catch it?
Like
in a handshake?
Make me a sleight of hand.
Cat, you wily. Okay, let's see.
I can't resist it.
That was a good one.
That was good. That's a 6, Cat.
Oh, a 6? No. No. The hand just skitters off down the tunnel.
But it's moving independently?
Yeah, it's a zombo hand.
Yeah, it's a zombo hand.
Oh, okay.
Mary like looks after it and then signs, I guess we should get moving.
That sounds like a good plan.
You guys move up the tunnel and walk for about 5 minutes, trudging along this path of slime. It just is nauseating to look at, to smell, to even just be around. After a little while, Mary stops you guys again and signs, we can't go on like this. Give me a moment. And she leans up against the wall of the tunnel and then sort of like pulls away from it as it is slimy and gross. And she covers her face with her hands for a second and just sort of crouches down and takes a few deep breaths. After a moment, Mary looks up and she has golden tears leaking from her eyes, which she wipes onto her fingers. Then she beckons Fran over.
And comes.
And she stands up enough and then rubs her thumbs over your eyes.
Oh, she reaches into my water.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
She does. Reaches into your water.
I don't know.
She reaches into
Feels good.
Yeah, it feels nice. Feels nice.
Okay.
It does feel really nice. The golden tears dissolve into your water sphere, Fran, and you instantly feel 100,000 times better.
Whoa.
Like you've had a hot meal and 8 hours of sleep.
Oh my God. Shit, Mary. Thank you.
She signs, there's a lot of people praying to me right now.
I bet.
All right, Corbin, it's like your turn, she says as she continues to make herself cry and pull the tears off of her face.
Mary, how are you holding up?
Her demeanor looks like she's beaten down, but physically she looks great. She looks
hot.
Yeah, like she looks luminous. Her hair glows with, the golden strands in it. Her eyes almost glow in the dark with this luminous godly glow. And she signs, I feel great, but also horrible. You know?
Well, if you want me to carry you or anything, just let me know, okay?
She laughs and shakes her head. No, that's okay. Not that kind of horrible. Here, and she rubs her tears on you, and each of you gain the effects of a long rest. And you level up.
Give Mary a hug.
Yes.
Corbin,
take your hit points. Take your
spell
spell
slots.
slots.
Oh my god, my spell
So did you say long rest?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Well, you're about to go fight.
Yeah, we're gonna need it.
You're gonna need it.
We're gonna need
you
it.
fucking
But
need it.
those are good tears.
Those are some good tears.
Those are some good fucking tears.
That's yummy.
Yeah.
Wait, Corbin, when Mary puts her little hands on Corbin, he says, I haven't done this in a while, give me a minute. And then his little face crumples and tears begin streaming from his eyes, Ghibli style.
Okay.
And he touches them with his fingers, and then he puts them on Mary's little face.
And Mary looks at you for a second, and then she gives you a hug.
Corbin hugs back.
And then she signs over your shoulder. I don't think I've ever seen him cry.
I used to cry all the time.
When?
Like at the beginning of when we left Esther, I was like a big crybaby. You guys remember that?
Oh.
I wasn't there.
I'd like see another crow and I'd start crying.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. And I turned it off like a hose.
Oh, I give Corbin a hug too.
No, I'm fine.
It's too late. You're being
I just
hugged.
let out like pounds of it.
Okay.
We're good.
As you are hugging and having this beautiful moment, there is a slosh of liquid from somewhere up the tunnel, and it pushes the sludge down past you. It's hot and black, but it moves like egg whites.
Ew.
As it rolls down the channel at the center of this tunnel. Mary gags again and signs, let's keep moving.
All right.
You keep moving up the tunnel until you come to another grate and an access ladder leading up to it. The remains of the black fluid that was dumped down here still drip from the grate and the rungs of the ladder. And Mary looks back at you all and signs, okay, are we ready?
Okay, so I think who has the highest perception? Corbin.
Yeah, probably me.
So Fran wants to elbow Corbin and say, Corbin, listen for where we are. Do you think we're in the Tidacairn?
Hold on, let me see what my elf ears.
Yeah, do you want to maybe move up the ladder a little bit to try and listen at the top of the grate?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll
Okay.
get my little ear right up against the grate.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Or your eyes.
You don't need to
I'm
put your ear against the grate.
I'm listening for the footsteps of orcs.
I mean, is it a grate that has holes in it? You could just look with your eyes.
and be seen with their eyes.
yeah.
Okay, fine.
I'm just listening.
Okay.
Yeah, that's over 20.
Over 20. So you hear two sets of footsteps up there, and also the sound of mechanical whirring, like machines working. And please make me a dexterity saving throw.
You're gonna get splooshed on.
I'm gonna get fucking splooshed, dude. So that's 13.
13. No.
Yeah, I kind of.
Corbin, you get sludged.
I get splooshed.
You get splooshed as another torrent of this black sludge just pours down on top of you. And you are going to take... you're only going to take 1 poison damage because I
Thank God.
didn't roll very well.
What is it?
Fran uses a little watery spell to clean Corbin off.
Thanks, Fran. Usually I like shit like this, but that kind of stung.
What is that stuff anyway?
Mary shakes her head and takes a step back from it and signs, I don't know, but it's definitely wrong. Whatever.
Can I cast
it is.
Identify on it?
Sure.
I just want to know, is it people?
Yeah. When you cast Identify on it, I'll give you that.
Sorry,
It is the byproduct of the refining process that they're using to turn people parts into dragon parts.
Does it have any properties?
It definitely
Hurts you.
hurts. It is toxic, and it is very mildly anti-magic,
Okay.
but not in just sort of
not really usefully.
not
in a way that would just make
usefully.
you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's just sort of Corbin, it just kind of made you feel icky and
I'm
gross.
kind
but
of bloated now.
yeah, well, I mean, you're fine now that you've been washed off.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it smacks of void magic. Smacks of void magic. Has a bitter overture of void magic in the sommelier notes.
How's the mouth feel?
Fran kind of like side eyes Corbin and pretends she didn't cast Identify.
Okay. Well, Corbin doesn't need to know, I guess.
Okay.
I heard 2 footsteps. Up there's at least 2 people.
Okay.
And obviously this shit.
Do we think this is where Torva is?
Do you hear the footsteps like moving away?
With your perception check, Corbin, they were moving like around. It seemed like they were walking back and forth between this grate and somewhere else.
Like guards?
I would guess that wherever we are, it's like some kind of facility that people are working in. I would assume those footsteps are people working a 9 to 5, as it were.
That's what the footsteps sounded like. Okay.
Yeah. What a way to make a living.
Well, before we do anything, Mary, I think you should have this. And Corbin pulls out the claw of the worm rune, which is an anti-dragon weapon.
Yeah, you guys picked that up in like Arc 2?
Yes,
Yeah, I've been holding on
one
to
of the
for a
first things we
time.
bought from Dawson, I believe.
You managed and you held on to this the whole time.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
We remembered that it existed.
Yep. But yeah, he gives it to Mary and he says, I think that you could make the most of this, Mary.
Mary accepts it with a solemn nod.
I've never really been able to get it to work, so.
Great gift, Corbin.
Mary,
well, Mary's like special. She could do stuff with it. I don't know.
Yeah, Mary loops it through a strap on her armor.
At the very least, it'll keep you a little safer from the breath weapon.
Mary nods and signs, thank you, Corbin. All of you. I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Fran, Corbin, when we first met, I wasn't a person. It was a doll that Torva kept locked in a cabinet, ready to be broken open and used. And because of you, I've had a chance to be someone, to be me. And no matter how this all turns out, Torva can't take that from me. And Slake, thank you. We're outsiders to this world, and I don't think I ever would have felt like I belonged on the surface if it wasn't for you. Thank you for everything you've done and everything you've sacrificed to help us, to help me. You've kept us going when we might have given up without you, and I will never forget that.
Oh, jeez, Mary. I say it. I start to tear up.
No, don't cry. I'm supposed to be the crying one.
You can't tell if Fran's crying, but her face looks really ugly inside her little water thing.
Corbin can't cry anymore because he expended all of his tears earlier. So he looks stoic.
Mm-hmm.
Mary, you were always a person. You just weren't treated that way. And I'm really glad that we got to get to know you. Like, you deserve to be happy, and I'm sorry you've had to fucking deal with all of this crazy shit. But we're gonna get through this, and you're gonna get to do the stuff that you want to do.
Mary smiles shakily and sighs, I think when all this is over, I just want to take a nap.
You're gonna take so many naps, Mary.
Ditto all of that. Now let's go kill your dad.
And as if to punctuate this poignant moment, another rain of sludge is poured to the grate.
God damn it. God damn it.
Oh, hello. I did not see you there. It's me, Larky, or possibly Larko, the legend Lark. Yes, that's right, I'm French. And I'm here in my first 100% canon and brand-sanctioned appearance to bring you the mid-roll. This fanciful lark was absolutely discussed with the entire group, who all agreed upon all aspects of the character, and this mid-roll was carefully scripted and reviewed by all shareholders and is definitely not just Errol fucking around in a desperate bid to distract himself from personal and or world events. Here's some more fun facts about me, the lark. I use every pronoun. My favorite kitchen implement is the whisk. I'm afraid of escalators, and it turns out I'm a flat earther. Go figure! Oh, what fun we have had here today, listeners. I have a job to do. I have some very exciting announcements this mid-roll, so do stick around to hear them or be forever ignorant of the tide that rises to engulf you. First, I am to thank our new and increasing patrons. We are so grateful to you who have chosen to support the show in this way. It is truly so helpful, especially to those of us who work not the highest paying day jobs and really rely on the income for help with things like, say, rent. So, merci beaucoup, Dust in the Dark Water, Devlin Vlietstra, Morgan Hayes, Kit Love, and Ben Lambert. Creating a podcast is a huge endeavor, and your support allows us to do things like hire an audio editor. Speaking of which, I have joyous news to deliver you in this new year. With help from our editor, we will be returning to our every other week release schedule, with our next episode releasing January 16th. Thank you so much to everyone for your patience as we have navigated difficult times, and we hope you will enjoy hearing us on our more regular basis once more. And what's this? Russell, Russell, I see something here in my little satchel, slung over my little wing. It looks like another announcement in this mid-roll. Let us listen to it.
Hello, listeners. Errol here with a marvelous segment in this assuredly top-tier mid-roll with special guest Wray. Very exciting.
Hello again.
Welcome, welcome.
Y'all might know me as Van Winkle from when I introduced myself literally 3 episodes ago. Surprise, I'm trans.
Wait, on this podcast?
I know, shocker.
Well, Wray, congratulations on your participation in the proud and sacred Legend Lark tradition of changing your name on the podcast. You are now the 3rd person, so I extend my congratulations. How's it going?
It's going really well. People have been honestly much nicer and more accepting than I was hoping. I've been transitioning for like 3 years, and I spent that whole time being terrified that if I ever came out, I would immediately lose my entire family, job, and home. That hasn't happened. People have been incredibly supportive, and I'm really, really happy.
Hell yeah. Well, we're glad to have you. If you've listened to our previous mid-rolls, listeners, you know that Wray has been bravely working to help in the massive undertaking that is audio editing for the show. Wray, I did the first pass on this episode, so I just want to apologize in advance if you've had to listen to us talking about Torva's butthole or anything. Or if not forget that I said that.
But, we'll see if it comes up.
Yeah, it probably will. So yeah, I was going to ask any winter or holiday films you've been enjoying this time of year, anything that you like to return to on those cold, dark California nights?
Yes. So far, I have rewatched twice now the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Nice.
And we watched Rudolph, the old Rankin Bass stop motion thing.
I fucking love those stop motions. I'm like,
great. It's so much fun. And then the other night, rewatched The Polar Express, which, as creepy as it is, I still have such a soft spot for it just because it came out at just the perfect point in my life.
Hell yeah.
It's just like, it's so goofy and so off-putting in terms of how the animation looks now. But it's just so goddamn earnest, and you just can't help but love it.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's the way I feel about, I mean, I don't find them off-putting, but I do love how earnest the stop motion specials are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I have a sick obsession with them. So
yeah. I need to watch The Year Without a Santa again. It's been a while, but I've been wanted to go back to that one.
Oh hell yeah! That's the one with Heat Miser, Snow Miser.
Yes,
some
exactly.
Jaunty tunes in there.
Very jaunty indeed. And then I haven't watched it yet, but usually always, watch Elf at least once during, the holiday season.
Yeah, can't go wrong there. I mean, and I love that one is directly referencing like the old stop motion ones.
Oh yeah. I love Mr. Narwhal, best character.
Hell yeah. And I mean, even just the costuming, like it's the "Why weren't you at elf practice, guys" uniform that okay, good. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so always good to see.
Yeah. Gotta love memes based on a 60-year-old TV special.
Yeah, and Wray, I was going to ask, is there anything you'd like to plug or replug since you're here and, good opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I talked about my own podcasts when I first introduced myself, the Sheridan Tapes, Tales of the Echowood, Homestead on the Corner. I can now say, even though many of them were not originally started with this intent, that they are all definitely trans-coded podcasts. I figured out a lot about myself while writing and producing them. So if you want to go through those and see my progress of figuring out gender and all of that, go right ahead. You can also check out my blog, which is also called Homestead on the Corner. I wrote a little coming out post, which goes into more detail about my process of figuring this all out and coming out and all of that. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, and for listeners, preferred pronouns.
She, her, and they, them.
Yes, just wanted to throw that out there so people refer to you correctly.
Thank you. And it is Wray with a W, W-R-A-Y.
Hell yeah. A lovely and unique spelling. I dig it.
It's Wray spelled like Wren.
Well, I mean, we're big bird heads over here, so yeah. Anytime we can work in a way to relate things back.
Yeah.
Always, it's great. It's great for the brand.
Clearly why I picked this 3 years before I even knew about this podcast.
Yeah, that was really good strategizing on your part. I have to congratulate
some good brand synergy going on there.
We love synergy. Well, thank you so much, Wray, for joining us.
Of course, Sarah. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. And now I will release you into the wild so that I can get back to whatever stupid bit I've come up with to deliver the Patreon thank yous and other mid-roll business.
I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, I hope you don't hear it.
Unfortunately, I have no choice. I'm editing this episode.
I know, but who knows? Maybe I'll just sneak in there and edit it so you don't have to hear it. I mean, I'm not going to sing this. I might sing a little, but not a lot. So it'll be fine. I guess you were going to find out eventually.
I will try to mentally prepare myself.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
All right. Good night, Errol.
Au revoir. Magnifique. Thank you, Wray, for your assistance with our humble podcast. And what beautiful voices. That Errol is a real charmer, no? But I must not allow myself to be distracted. There is just so much to say in this mid-roll, and I've done it in a bizarre and, frankly, difficult to keep track of manner. Let us continue. I want to thank one more person, and that is our most recent reviewer on Apple Podcasts, Vox Ex Machina, for the very sweet review. Reviewing the show is much appreciated. Not only do we love reading your kind words, but it boosts our ratings as well, so we can hopefully reach even more listeners with our deranged labor of love. And speaking on the topic of such things, we do have some new Larks created merch in the store. We have a lovely new Darius iron-on patch and holographic sticker, très joli. And a new print of the bonus campaign Damien Dive crew on shimmer paper. Oh, it is too much. These lovely things have made their way to male tier patrons already. But you can support the show by picking these up from our online shop, legendlarks.store. Well, as much as I love the sound of my voice, I am getting out of breath. And I still have many an adventurer to guide on their journey, or whatever the fuck it is that I do. I am going away now. Bonsoir, and a happy new year! Oh shit, did you guys see that bird flying away? Anyway, I guess I better record the mid-roll. I did my setup and then I went to get some tea, but hey, this audio file, it looks like it's already got a lot of content in it. Do you think that bird... Well, I'm just going to assume the bird did it because I'm tired. So I guess I'll just do the message to Chantel. Chantel, the code word is wayfinding heart. The sleeper agent is active. Go.
All right. What order do you head up in? How do you guys want to do this?
I look at the opening and I look at you guys and I say, I can head in first.
Okay.
I basically headed halfway in first already, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
Mary Signs, be careful.
as the leader, I want you to go first.
Okay.
You can count on me.
Are you going loud or going quiet?
I think quiet.
Yeah.
Roll me a stealth check, Slake.
Oh, Christ.
At disadvantage because you have heavy armor on.
Let me see what my stealth is.
It's really high, I bet.
I bet it's so high.
2. So I rolled a 6. So
It's an 8?
yeah, it's a fucking 8.
Okay. All right. So
I love to make an ass of myself.
Slake, you carefully clank up the ladder, which is sort of slippery and awful with sludge. So Slake, as you pop up, you find yourself in one of the workrooms of the Titacairn. But this place is much different than you remember. The entire ceiling of this cavern has been ripped off like a tin can, and scaffolding extends up and up and up. A mechanized pulley system lowers drums of foul-smelling sludge down from the top of the scaffold, where work is being done on the dragon. And it's like as you emerge, 2 reedy-looking dwarves swimming in their Titacairn blue robes turn around and they immediately throw their hands up and back away quickly from the grate.
Oh, thank God. I say, oh, hello. Say, do you guys like your jobs?
No. He said he did. He killed anyone who wouldn't help. We're just trying to get through this and lose our sense of smell as quickly as we can.
Okay, that's awesome. Because, we would really love some robes. And there's actually like a little tunnel here if you wanted to say, hide out for the next, 6 to 12 hours. So maybe we can just do a little exchange.
And they immediately start undressing.
Hell yeah.
They are not there to resist you. But one of them does say, if you want to get up to where he is, and he points to the empty buckets that are heading up the pulley system.
Mm-hmm.
He says, that goes straight to the top.
Thank you. Is there anything else we should know about this space? You've been having to work in here. Anything that would give us an advantage?
They look at each other, and one of them says, I don't go. I mean, do, because I hope you stop him or whatever you're trying to do. But we've tried not to go up there as much as we can. A lot of the people who do work up there, they don't come back down.
Right. So Torva.
Slake, move! I can't see!
Okay. Sorry, guys. And I climb up out so that you guys can get out.
Okay, we all come out.
Can't believe you're just having a conversation on the fucking ladder.
Like Winnie the Pooh sticking your little head out.
I'm sorry.
No, you did good, Slake.
Yeah, that was great. Well done. Incredible charisma.
Master manipulator.
Wow, yeah, really good at that.
You don't sound sincere.
Mary agrees. Corbin says, without looking at Mary at all.
Whatever I say, and I make room for you to get out.
All right. So what do you want to do?
I mean, we could use the robes for something, maybe.
Yeah.
If we want to try and be stealthy.
I mean, if we're going to be riding up in the buckets, like, they're not supposed to be doing that.
The thing too also is that these are dwarves and we aren't.
Yeah, but they were swimming. They were swimming in the robe.
Because they're skinny.
They're skinny.
Yeah, so like, I mean, we could put the robes on, but it would be like a shirt and then we would need pants and it'd be really tight.
Okay, fine.
I mean, like we might look hot. I don't know.
When I heard swimming, I just assumed it was an invitation.
We might look really good.
We could look good. It's like, why don't you try? You just make these guys get naked.
They're not naked. No one wears a robe and then it's just fucking raw dogging under it.
Oh, speak for yourself.
They're not naked, but they're just wearing small clothes underneath.
Okay, well now I feel like an asshole. You know what, guys? I'm sorry. You take these back, and I give them back their robes.
Damn. I sort of look at them, and they seem kind of reticent to put them on.
We're really playing mind games here.
They're sort of the robes are sort of damp and smelly, and like when you're like you're wearing damp and smelly clothes and it's fine.
Yeah,
but like,
then you get to put them back on.
putting them back on is like the worst thing.
I look through my bag of holding to see if I have any other clothes to give them.
You've got your fancy.
Yeah, I pull out like 2 beautiful dresses.
They look a bit uncertain about this, but eventually one of them.
And they really are drowning in these dresses.
Oh yeah, that the dresses are way too big on them. I mean, like they're long on them,
Yeah,
but
they're
kind of
long.
they can't like zip up.
But like on me, like it's like a little mini dress. Like on them, it's like a full length gown. They look
Right.
Oh, yeah,
but they
yeah,
also like
incredible.
they can't quite do up like all the laces in the back and stuff, so they're looking a little silly.
The
But
fitting is off.
the fitting is way off. But they do put like the outer layer of their Titacairn robes over those,
yeah.
so they're not ruining your fancy clothes. So they
we really helped.
Yeah. Yes, like we really did.
one of them says, if you want to go up that way, I'll hold the line for long enough to load you each up in.
Oh, thank you.
That's
That's really nice of you.
And the other one is already climbing down the grate.
Yeah. No.
All right.
It's two kinds
One of you
people
two
in
is
the
getting
world.
into heaven.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is Brock.
Brock, I really appreciate you. You're a legend, and they're gonna write about you in the history books.
I really hope they don't.
We're gonna mention you when they sing our songs.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's gonna be like a whole chorus about you.
They're going to name a food after you. They're going to call it broccoli.
Oh, I think that already exists.
No.
I never heard of it.
Not real.
Huh. All right. Well, here. Mary looks back at you guys and says, I'll go first. If Torva is up there, I can throw a shield up while the rest of you get up.
Okay, are you
Be
sure?
careful.
Mary nods. She says, I'm sure I can do this. After all, I'm a god, right?
Yeah, you are.
You are God.
She nods and then very, very gingerly gets into the barrel,
A slime bucket.
the slime bucket, and visibly sort of like has that like a Studio Ghibli style shiver that like goes all the way up. What order you go up in after Mary goes up?
I'm too embarrassed to volunteer to go in any order, so you guys are gonna have to make the decision.
I'll go next.
All right.
I'll go after you, and then Slake, would you
bring up the rear?
guard us from the rear?
It would be my honor.
Hey, Slake, before we go up, I just want to say, I know I'm a bitch to you, but I really appreciate all that you do for us.
Oh, whatever.
All right, let's go.
Well, what about me?
What? Oh, yeah, you should apologize to Slake, too. You're right.
All right, and you are now all on your way up the scaffold, which means it's time for our first fortune roll of the day.
Yes.
All right. So with this round of fortune rolls, if you want to add a blessing, give advantage, or add a D10 to this, you will have to give up your turn in combat, which means for this first one, you will give up your first turn in combat to affect it if you decide to do so.
Okay.
On your way up the scaffold, you look down and see the battle sprawling out beneath you. The orcs are fighting hard against the undead, their experience in monster hunting aiding them in dispatching the seemingly endless horde. Among the dwarves and estrins, you catch sight of a small knot of people protecting one dwarf in a big wooden box. Through the press of this crowd, you can finally spot Torio, the dwarven inventor who promised you a weapon to help in this fight.
Torio!
The dwarves are trying to set up some kind of gun, but they're surrounded on all sides, and it looks like it'll take them a moment to set things up. You see Namavi runs towards them and takes up a guard position, catching the blow of a zombie as it comes down towards the dwarven inventor, and her axe sticks in the zombie's arms, and she is holding it off with her axe. You see a zombie reaching for Namavi, its fingers bare inches from her throat. Please make me a fortune roll.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's an
That's
11.
an 11.
That is a partial success.
But I might as well give up my turn.
I mean, if you want to.
Well, how many
no
times
reason not to.
How many times can we use a blessing like that, Kat?
As many
As-
times as we want.
as many times as you want to give up
Later,
your
it's going to
turn.
be harder to give up turns, but right now, like,
yeah, that's true. Okay.
all right, let's go. Okay, actually, I rolled a 7. So 7 plus 11, that's going to bring it up to 18.
That is now
Yeah.
a total success.
Oh yeah! Woo! Kurt's dice. Who?
All right.
I'd like to use the fortune roll to fire a crossbow bolt and Can I just chop its arm off? Like
with a crossbow bolt?
Like in
Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You got a total success. I'll let you do that.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Kat.
All right, the crossbow bolt rips through the zombie's arm, which gives Namavi enough notice that she is able to turn and cut the head off the zombie that is coming for her.
Okay.
Torio fires the weapon and a beam of white light emits forth from it, hitting the still animating corpse of the dragon far above you. The mottled reddish-brown skin blooms and fades as light passes over it. Corbin and Fran, you feel something akin to what you felt when the dragon that was Bruva took down the cold iron ceiling of Essedel. Like a great weight has been lifted.
So, like, we can use magic now?
Yes, you will now be able to use magic against Torva and the dragon when you get up there.
Hell yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know that was a problem, but great.
Okay.
Fran is hiding in her bucket, by the way.
Okay. So you all crouch in these drums as they take you up and up, but the higher you go, you can still feel that strange heaviness inside you. You can feel the dragon's very presence trying to suppress your magic. But then you can also feel the void magic of Torio's weapon piercing through that and fighting against this effect. And then over all of that, you can sense Mary and her calming promise of survival that envelops you. You can always feel her presence now, just a little, especially you, Fran and Corbin, as her power has grown and been named. You feel all of this, and above it, you feel the aura of the Conqueror. This is his domain. The air itself feels oppressive, violent. You feel that drop in your stomach, like when you know you've made a mistake somewhere. Like you're going to lose, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Torva is here. Torva is close. The Conqueror is preparing for his victory, for your defeat. And then, abruptly, as Mary's drum must be reaching the top, you feel your connection to Mary snap. When you reach the top of the pulley system, you find yourself on a series of mechanical platforms, which lead up to Torva's dragon. More drums sail overhead, bringing materials in from other parts of Essedel and ferrying away the waste products. There's a control panel on the highest platform, up near the dragon's head, with many switches and levers to control all the moving mechanical parts. However, when you get up there, Mary is collapsed on the ground, clutching her chest.
Mary!
Her eyes are wide with panic as she reaches out with one hand toward the child who is standing in front of her. The child appears human, with a pointy chin and big green eyes that focus on Mary with a malice that is too old for their appearance. The child is dressed in impeccably tailored leather armor with a silk shirt dyed a stunning grass green peeking out from underneath. As you each come up onto the platform, you see this scene unfolding, and you hear from above. This, dear daughter, is why you should always use a mortal sacrifice when you need a new body. Torva's voice rings out from the platform above you, where he stands looking down on the four of you. Behind him is the twisted, fleshed skeleton of the dragon. It's even more awful up close. Some patches of iridescent black scales cling to the red flesh, which is otherwise mottled like a fresh burn. One huge eye, made of something black and jelly-like, looms behind Torva as he leans his hands against the railing. He's gotten taller since you last saw him. Still stocky and squared off the way most dwarves are, but you can see Torva's face emerging from the old king's features. He's kept the beard, though he's trimmed it up to frame his new face to best effect. He vaults over the railing and lands with a heavy thud between you and the child, who has not stopped looking at Mary. This is what you risk when you cobble together the powers of other gods like that. It will wear off as you absorb their aspect into your own, but it's only been, what, a few months? You're too impatient, child. Still, I underestimated you. And he turns back to all of you and raises his chin. All of you. and your little ragtag army.
Fran, from hearing this going on as she's being raised up, knows that fucking shit's going down and Torva's right there. And she telepathically says to Corbin, do something crazy.
Okay, so Corbin comes out of it's like a well, right, Kat, that we're being like lifted out of, kind of?
Yeah, it's just a long drop.
Okay, yeah, so once Corbin kind of gets up there and he sees, and he received Fran's telepathic message, he knows kind of what he's gonna do already. And once he sees Torva,
looking like a whole fresh asshole.
Looking like a fresh asshole.
What?
He comes up.
Fresh and tasty.
He comes up and he says, Torva, glad to see you're still looking like a fresh asshole. Tasty. And then...
What the fuck?
And then... I'm just trying to throw him off. And then he turns into a giant scorpion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, Corbin, so you turn into a giant scorpion in your drum as it continues to rise. You will get an attack of opportunity for surprising him once we get into initiative, but before that, Torva looks at each of you in turn. Fran, even though you're hiding, you get the sense that somehow he can see you too, and for a split second, you see yourselves conquered. You see the end as it might come to be. The dragon breaking loose from the dwarven caverns, bringing the mountain down around it as it takes off into the air. You see a darkness that spreads across the sky, a cloud of ash that blots out the sun. In your vision, all of your victories so far are undone. The elves of Ilfra are starving. The citizens of Danmar are dying of thirst. The Madrian court is in chaos, with courtiers sending their armies against one another to grab for the throne. You see the mortal armies of the world, your last surviving friends among them, rise up in a last, desperate stand against the darkness. They wave Mary's banner and cheer your names as a rallying cry before they are wiped out for good. The remaining gods are brought under the yoke of a new force. Torva ascended, a power too great to resist. Those who try are wiped from the face of the earth, their domains left to rot or gifted to sycophants. The beast gods are driven back to the wild, animal thoughts, and are unable to speak. The mortals who remain are enslaved, forced to worship this new force and his dark gods. You see all of this in a blink of the eye, and then finally you come back to reality. You haven't lost yet, and Torva says, "Come, let us end all of this, so I may forge my new world."
I don't have any items. I just have my gun.
You have the bullet with
I have the gun.
poison.
I know, that's what I mean. I have other than the gun and the bullets.
The most important items.
I think I mostly got rid of my items.
I just have the dragon slaying sword, and then, which, we don't really need for, well, actually, no,
we probably are going to need it.
Yeah, you're right.
We're probably going to need it.
You're right.
We're probably going to need it.
I just have the stupid dragon slaying sword. It's not we're going to need that.